Hello Booktube, my name is Carrie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a book unhaul because I have a ton of books that I'm unhauling. This is my first unhaul of my shelves since I believe before 2020. So I have a ton of books that I have just been kind of putting aside to get rid of. I take them to one of my local used bookstores. So yeah, tons of books to go through. So I will say if I have read the book or not, and if I haven't, I'll explain in a couple of words why I'm getting rid of it. I'm not going to go into a ton of detail. I do have these books somewhat grouped together, so I will say like the grouping and then explain more if need be. So the first grouping I like to call phase books. So these are books that I bought whenever I was going through my historical fiction phase. I'm a huge history nerd. For a while I was really into historical fiction and picked up a ton of books for it. And so these books, some of them I tried, some of them I didn't. I just don't really have an interest in them anymore, so I don't see a point of letting them sit on my shelves. So first I have The Kitchen Boy by Robert Alexander, which is a story about the Romanovs. Then I have 3 Philippa Gregory books. The first is The Other Queen, which I believe is from the Tudors series. Then I have The White Queen and The Kingmaker's Daughter, which are from the War of the Roses series, I believe. Next, I have The War of the Roses by Dan Jones. And then I have The Pope's Daughter by Dario Fo, which is a kind of reimagining of Lucrezia Borgia. And then I have The Borgias by G.J. Meyer, who is an author that I enjoy, but I just haven't heard good things about this. So the next group are books that I have read at least a chapter of, but I didn't finish. Mainly because I didn't either like the main character, I didn't like the writing, or just didn't care at all. So the first is Create Dangerously by Albert Camus. This might seem a little dumb because it is such a short book, but whenever I was reading this, I did not care about anything that was being talked about in here. And I know that sounds bad, but I don't care. Then I have The Opposite of Loneliness by Marina Keegan. This is one that I went back and forth over because there are a few stories in this that I did actually like, but I just found that it was really inconsistent, and it's one of those where I felt like even if I did finish it, I probably wouldn't keep it on my shelves anyway. Next I have The Butcher's Hook by Jeanette Ellis. Then A Horse Walks Into a Bar by David Grossman. A Testament of Youth by Vera Brittain. This is actually a nonfiction memoir about Vera Brittain's time living during World War I. I was really excited for this because I love World War I history. But she was just so out of touch with things. It was just very irritating to read. And the last book is Lies My Teacher Told Me by James W. Lowen. This is a nonfiction book about American history. I did not think it was just about American history. I am not a big American history person, so I figure someone else will enjoy it much more than I will. Then I have some that I'm not exactly sure why I bought them, but they were on my shelves. The first of which is The Spy by Paulo Coelho. But what a beautiful cover. I'm not gonna lie, the cover is the thing that's making me want to keep this. Then I have Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. I think that this might have been a gift, but I don't really like Peter Pan that much. That might be controversial. I just was never really interested in like the Disney movies. Never have been interested in reading the book. Then I have How to Use Your Enemies by Balthazar Gracian. I realized this actually should have been in the group before this, but we're here now. Because I did actually read the majority of this. I thought it was going to be more like The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli, which is one of my favorite books of all time. This just repeated the same things for endless amounts of pages. Then I have The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. And I have Call Me Zebra by Azarine van der Vliet Alumi. Beautiful cover. I'm pretty sure I bought this for the cover because I just don't know what it's about. I looked up the ratings. They were not good. This next group is what I like to call books that were really popular on Booktube. I bought them, never read them, have no intention of reading them now. And first is Codename Verity by Elizabeth Wein. This is one that I kind of went back and forth over because I do really like World War II books. This is also like a different perspective of World War II from the traditional narrative. So I ended up looking up Goodreads reviews, and a lot of people said that this got very technical about planes, and that immediately solidified my decision to take it off my shelves. Next, I have Crudo by Olivia Lang. This was kind of in the vein of Autumn by Ali Smith, where it was written during Brexit and like the Trump administration. A lot of political events that are put into this. I looked at some reviews for this, and a lot of people who have read it more recently, like within the past couple of years, said that a lot of the things in this book are kind of outdated already, or it just kind of felt like a very specific novel for a very specific time frame. And I read a lot of books like this at the time that some of those events were happening. I've kind of already read enough that I don't need to read this one. Next one might be controversial because it is The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. First of all, in this gorgeous edition that I got while I was living overseas, which I'm not gonna lie, this specific edition made it very difficult for me to decide on whether or not I wanted to get rid of this. And the final group are books that I read that I no longer want on my shelves. The first one is Aisha at Last by Uzma Jalaluddin. This one is different to the other 3 books in this group. I love this book. If you watch my top 10 of 2021, you're probably very shocked that this is in my pile. Well, the reason why is because I ordered this copy when I first read it. I read this copy, but if you can tell in the light, the like filming over the top of the cover is messed up, and this part has been like bent inwards. There's also this like dye strip that has gone all through this bottom section and into the back, which this was not like a used or discounted copy, so I don't understand why it was in this state. I was gonna wait and see if I actually enjoyed the book. If so, I was like, I'll get another copy. If not, I'll just ditch it. Loved the book, ended up ordering another copy, and that actually worked out for the best because this one was also not the same height as her new book, which is a spin-off to this, and they have like matching covers, so now they fully match, and all's well that ends well. Next, I have The Bastard of Istanbul by Elif Shafak. This one was a huge disappointment for me. I read about, I think it was like 60 to 70% of this and just could not go on anymore. I have The Map of Salt and Stars by Zain Kadar, which if you see my monthly wrap-up, you will see my thoughts on this and understand why I did not like this. And finally, I have Journalism by Joe Sacco. And I actually really enjoyed this, but it's one that I don't see myself ever rereading. So those are all the books that I am going to be getting rid of. If you have an unpopular opinion about any of the books that I showed today, please put them down below in the comments. I love to see people trash talk the books that I did not enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. Happy reading, and bye-bye!